Just filled with fertilizer. We got channel seed corn in these 3 bins, DeKalb in these 3. We're at our rented place. We got another 12, 14 acres left, and then that's it for corn planting for the year. So stay tuned, and then we'll probably start beans. Before you know it, we'll be starting hay. So I gotta drive this over to the next section, and he's gotta start planting. I ain't gonna get too much video of corn planting. Probably maybe 2 minutes. I might connect bean planting with this. I don't know. We'll see what happens.
Hey guys, I have a new character in this series. It's usually my little brother Cash, but I decided to start recording some videos for him. I'm out here by the steer lot, just looking at them. Looks like they need some feed here pretty quick, but we've been cleaning out the 4430 after all the nitrogen we've been spreading. This thing got super dusty from all that nitrogen because, or not the nitrogen, but the dust when we were spreading it, because we haven't had rain probably a week or 2. So everything's starting to get really dry, especially since the sun's been shining really nice. So I decided to clean her up because you couldn't even see any of the color on these hydraulics because it was so dusty. And another thing is some of the corn stalks are starting to get stuck on here and dry up. So I made sure them got all cleaned out. We took some window cleaner, made them windows shine. You can see straight through them pretty well. But I got this bad boy pretty cleaned up. I'm using the pressure washer, and then she's vacuuming right now just to make sure that it's nice and spick and span for when we start or get done planting and start doing first cut hay. That way it doesn't rust or anything either. Keep it nice and clean. We got the tractor all cleaned out, so I came down to make sure it looked good. Seems to look pretty good though. I think we did a pretty good job. There's some spots here and there that are still a little dusty and whatnot, but it is just so bad. We tried our best, but floor mat's pretty clean. Steering wheel, read all the gauges. Them used to be so covered you could barely read them. But we're gonna fire her up and move her out of the way because right now it's in the middle of the road. Beautiful. Just back her up. Out a little bit. Let's put her in B1 throttle. Back her over to 2. Then we're gonna back her out. Got the duals on this guy, so usually traction ain't a problem, but with them bigger diggers, it does still spin sometimes. Sucker would definitely get stuck if we didn't have the duals on it. Another thing we did was we also changed the oil on the 4430 as well. So it should be good for a couple hundred hours before we change it again. All good. Cash and my dad are out planting over on our rental property right now. We got about 25 acres of corn we're planting over there. It's just split pretty much 20 acres one side and 15 on the other side. And where you going, Chief? Chief right here. But when we were digging it up over there, I didn't go full depth because it's just bogs tracked down a decent amount. But then my dad started planting and he's like, yeah, we gotta go full depth. So I dropped it down to full depth and he followed as I planted ahead of him, or as I dug up ahead of him. But when I got the tractor back, apparently he found a shank from the digger, which this is the shank right here, fell off of it. But I'm gonna go try to put this guy back on. It's Cash, the one who records all the videos, bringing the fertilizer back from over at our rental area. I'm sure the planter's not far behind them. So what I'm going to try doing is I'm going to try to get this bolt right here to loosen and tighten a little bit, just so that way if it snaps, we got spare ones of these and I can just go grab a different one to replace it with. There's one on the back, or on this side too. I'm going to do the same thing. Just try to work it in and out until it's got enough give to come just about all the way off and just weigh in, so that way I can get that real tight when I put it back on there. First things first though, you got to lube it up obviously, otherwise nothing will happen. I mean, maybe something will happen, but I highly doubt. I'll persuade it a little more. Need some more. That sucker's running low. I got the 11/16 socket here, and we're gonna try to remove this bolt and see if it wants to go. It's very unlikely, but maybe after the penetrating oil set in, it might go. I don't think that's going, so we're gonna whip out the big guns. Okay, stop. Okay, stop. So we're gonna try using the old cheater bar method. It'll probably snap it off, but like I said, we got the spare parts for it. Oh, there she goes. Snapped her clean off, just like we wanted. Holy crap. All right, there goes number 2. So I got the other one off, but the threads are kind of shot on there. So I'm gonna work it back and forth until it kind of remakes the threads to its size. So as you can see, them threads look a lot better all along there. So I'll probably give them a little more penetrating oil just to kind of keep them clean, because it took a lot of material off there while I was doing that. But it works really well if you just keep working it back and forth. I don't know if it's bad for the structural integrity of the thing or not, but it's always worked for me, never had an issue with it. So I'm just gonna hit it with a little bit of penetrating oil just to kind of get into them grooves and keep it clean. And so the bolt goes on there nice and hopefully comes off half decently if we have to ever take it off. So I'm going to do the same technique when I run the bolt in and out on this one on both of them, because they both kind of were crappy thread wise. So I'm going to run that in and out like I did on the other one until it is good threads again. When I try to put her in here, it doesn't line up with the holes because this guy is a little bent right here. As you can see, it kind of bends out. So I'm going to try to bend it back into shape. Otherwise, oh wait, he might have one. He might not even need to. My brother was going to look for another one. So if I can make this one work, that'd be nice. But I suppose if I hit that, it'll probably destroy the threads. If I thread that onto there. When I hit that nut, it shouldn't wreck anything. Oh. I don't know if that's making any difference or not. I don't think it is. No. That one right there is a much better shape. You see how it bends out like that one, the other one, but this one, good versus the one without threads. Yeah. All right, we'll use that guy. Okay, got the other one. This was the one we sheared off. Pretty much the exact same part, so take that one off, put it onto here, put it on the digger, and it should be good. I didn't even notice it fall off because it didn't break off or anything. It just slid off the frame somehow. Must be one of the edge ones, because otherwise it wouldn't make no sense how that came off. But it is what it is. Happens sometimes. Sometimes these clamps get real loose and it just wants to wiggle. Usually every year we go through and tighten all these clamps down before we start digging up stuff. We had the same thing with that chisel plow we bought this year. There was issues with the shanks all being loose, so we went through and tightened them all up. But then we go right here. It's where it's supposed to be mounted. You can see it was already there because it's got that groove where it was sitting and rubbing around. You can actually see right there where the paint kind of scratched off. That's right where it was, and it rubbed its way off. You can see on the front there it started maneuvering back. And eventually, I'm sure it wiggled just enough and then probably just fell off as you were going. Luckily, it didn't get grabbed by the other shanks or wreck any of the splines on the back, but I'll have to get that back on there. But that makes sense as to why it fell off, because that's just a little frame piece. I'm surprised that's not further out here. But I guess it can't be, otherwise it'll hit this when it unfolds. Okay, got the new clamp on. Should just slide right on there, hopefully, if I got it loose enough. Perfect. I'm just gonna put it just about right up to the frame so it doesn't want to slide off again. So I'm gonna put it right there. Then I'm gonna tighten the bottom one a little bit to keep it tight. And then I'm gonna tighten that top one. So I got that top one tightened down. So now it's still pretty loose, but I got a lot of give on that bottom one yet, so I'm gonna tighten that guy down. It should sucker right in. If I can get around the nut.
Tucky's helping us out. Right, Tuck? Speak. Speak, Tuck. Speak. Speak. Good boy.
And if we wiggle it,
No give.
good to go.